Okay, today is May 5th still. I'm at the Town of Hempstead shelter. I'm going to reevaluate a German Shepherd named Teddy who has some issues perhaps, or maybe not perhaps. Maybe he was diagnosed correctly, incorrectly, I'm not really sure. And again, as I say with the dog, any dog, we're going to live in the moment. I don't really care if his dog was tied to a tree in Brooklyn, was roaming it's not relevant to me. Because I was tied to a tree in Brooklyn, and look at me now. So it's not relevant, the background on the dog. It could be genetics, whatever. Congenital. We're going to look when he comes in, and we're going to see his demeanor. Is he overtly friendly, overtly shy? His body language should tell us a lot of things. We're not going to tiptoe around. We're not going to rationalize and make excuses for him. There's this floor to this chair, whatever. We're going to see where he's at. So we're going to cut. All right, so here's Teddy, and he's how old, Nick, about, we think?
About 3.
3? He's a neutered male? He's neutered, right?
Very neutered.
So again, he comes in the door, he doesn't really have an expectation of where he's going. Hi, Ted. And I do what I do. I slip my little piece of rope on him. Good, babe. And you can take that off. And I always do, anytime I'm doing these, I always protect my face just as a natural thing, but it doesn't, I'm just doing it. We want to see his issues. So he's really not much different than the whatever that thing was that was just here. What is it, a Jack Russell? Same thing. He's excited. He actually has bonded with Nick because Nick is the primary caregiver here. So of course he's connected to him. But we don't want to develop, and if we let this allow that to go on, then we have the other problem of we call separation anxiety. Good. So we take a few minutes here. This is a process. It's not dog training or behavior modification. Is a process. Good, baby. Good. Good. Good, Ted. Good. Good, babe. I'm going to ask him to sit. Why do I want him to? I want him to do something. And I want to see his reaction to a correction. Teddy, sit. Teddy, sit. Teddy. Good. Good. So now what does that mean to the layman? It could look like I'm an idiot. I asked him to do a task. It would be like asking a child to sit in a chair. And I wanted to see his response. I know he knows how to sit because I just did this the other day. So when he didn't do it, I metaphorically bit him. I didn't collapse his trachea. I snapped this piece of rope. It's not a pinch collar. It's not an electric collar. And I corrected him. And now he's sitting. And he thought to get up independently. And he's nervous about this. He should be. He's not my dog. He's been in a shelter environment for how long? And again, here's some nut me trying to manipulate. Then here comes Peg with our hood. Go put your hood on. Oh, scary Peg.
Limp?
Yeah, limp. No, that's good.
Gangster.
Do I
Hi,
look like
Peg.
Igor?
I'm going to ask him to stay. And I'm going to say hello to Igor. Shake. Hi, Igor. Hi. Not to mention we have a female camera person walking around the room. So we... sit. Teddy. Sit. Good, baby. Look at him, relax. This is anxiety. He's shedding. His mouth is over. So what? I'm not asking him to stand on his front paws. I'm asking him to do a behavior that is very familiar with him. And in return, here's his positive motivation. I'm telling him it's all good. So, I'm trying to think. Nick, just grab that toy. And then I'm going to release him from his sit. Yeah, throw this to me, please. Thanks. Good. And the same thing. Stop. And why am I doing it? I don't know, because I feel like it. And that's a lot of the answers to this. Okay, babe. Okay. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good, man. Good. So almost the same diagnosis. Other than this little anxiety associated with Nick, there's a conflict. But the point of the matter is, I can correct him and he didn't growl at me. Stop. I do correct that anxiety. It might be counterintuitive to a lot of people who see that. But if I allow it to go, because the whining will turn into a bark, and the bark may turn into aggression. I don't know. Stop it.
Is it counterintuitive because everybody wants to nurture their...
Thank you. So the best way people deal with, most people deal with conflict with a dog by praising him. And I'd say, it's okay, Nick will be back. And it's, so it is exactly counterintuitive. I am making it worse. So for people, when somebody knocks on the door, and the dog gets nervous, we start to try to soothe him. I correct him. So in other words, the dog barks, I correct, good boy. By me correcting him, this is not familiar to humans. because you don't do this to your children. This is absolutely familiar to the dog. And then you're gonna see him just like you did the other dog. We're about 4 or 5 minutes into this process. Good boy, Ted. Good.
Do you want me to walk out and knock?
Sure, whatever. Let's do whatever. Teddy,
I'm coming in evil.
good. Teddy, sit. Sit. Teddy, sit. Hang on, we're coming. And this is important. Keep knocking. This is important. There's not a constitutional right. Wait, go back out and bark to a bark. Knock some more. There's not a constitutional right for us to go to the door. The UPS guy can wait 2 or 3 minutes.
You want me to go back and do what?
Just knock some more.
Continuously? Just because I
Just a
can't
little.
hear
Just
it.
go crazy. I'll invite you in like you're my house.
Yell loud.
Okay, I will. So again, I'm not racing to the door. If we race to the door will race to the door. That will become the ritual. All right, I'm coming. Good boy. Okay, now I got my response. Now we say hello. I'm looking at Nick. Yeah, he's looking at Nick because he's got conflict here. There's Nick, there's this, there's that. He doesn't even, this isn't even his house. So we do things. And then we love him. Good. Then I release him. Okay, babe. Good. And now he can go bite cherry. No. And then Nick could just ignore. Yeah, he got it. Good, good. So this is not.
What's his conflict with Nick?
He likes him.
Yeah, that's the
So
problem.
he says, save me from this moron. And Nick turns away or raises his knee. Hey, babe. Good dog. He's like, screw you. And then at some point, off. That's okay. Then he's counter-served. So I leave the leash on. Now he's back. I gave him a relative amount of freedom. He showed us what he wants to do. And it would have been fine if he went to Nick, but not to jump on him. He took that behavior a step further. So I'm just trying to trigger something in the dog that will, he's not aggressive. That's all I can say. You know, I don't know what I could do to and again, if I have to go to this length to show some aggression in the dog, ha! Ha! He couldn't care less. But my point, shouldn't he have been startled? Shouldn't he have done something? You peg and it's something different. And when dogs act out, it's not because they don't like a certain race of people, or they you know, if I had $1 for everybody who said my dog must have been beaten by a man with a beard or a man with a baseball cap. It's just different. So handicapped people, people with disabilities, they get barked at all the time because it's different. Children, why do dogs bite children? Because adults don't jump around on couches and do backflips. Well, some of them do. I think Nick does. But anyway, people don't do that. Come in. So the trick is here for me to be relaxed. I'm not tensing up. If I start to tense up, and I'm expecting the dog to bark. Stop.
Should I cruise by closer to him?
Do whatever. Stop. And even if that was, he did bark. That was just a warning. He said, get this crazy person away from me. What is it? It's not a human. It's got sticks under its arm. So, where's the danger here? Stop. That's okay. Stop. And we're gonna fix this.
And it was the crutches. It wasn't like the hood or me.
But the point of the matter is, where is the threat to this dog? I'm holding him, and how many people have some lunatic coming into their house uninvited, really, with
With a hood on and crutches.
trying to antagonize the dog? And that's really what we're trying to do. We're not tiptoeing around the dog. I just have to tell the dog that this is just fine. This could be a vacuum cleaner. Do we put a dog down if he starts biting the vacuum? Which everybody does, because it's not a vacuum. It's a terrorist that lives in its closet. It's not a vacuum cleaner. And it comes out once a week.
I got Al-Qaeda in my closet.
Right, Al-Qaeda in the closet. Well, mine doesn't come out.
It sounds like
Doesn't
a
come
sword.
out enough. But the point is exactly that. Why wouldn't it? Because it's something, he doesn't know what a vacuum is. It knows this creature on wheels come whining across the floor, and it either has to run from it or kill it. And that's what happened here. We'll do the umbrella test.
Some hell of an umbrella, huh? Is it me skipping or is it the umbrella?
It was your proximity to him. He was good at a certain distance when you closed in, and that's all right, but we're not going to push this. So at what point do I have to take a shelter dog who's been labeled aggressive? What do we got to do? Bring the circus into town? it's.
Dun, 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 dun,
And where is he here?
dun.
Here's the question: is he unstable and unpredictable? Did he turn and bite me? Did he go to lunge at her legs? What's he doing? So again, I'm not. We can't see everything in this little moment in time. There might be a trick. He's been under stress. Everyone would agree with that. He's under stress. He's shedding. He's yawning. He's whining.
But you know, then I think any one of my dogs in my house right now would be reacting the same
Right.
way to all this weird stuff that they
They're
never
probably worse.
see. Yeah.
He didn't even bark when the door knocked because he's not been allowed to become territorial. But we've created the territorialness by holding him back. When somebody rings the doorbell, there is a whole ritual, a family ritual of how the door is going to get answered. We're going to say, okay, let's just let Teddy sniff your crotch, and then if he likes then you can go sit on the couch. So where does this come in that the dog is the greeter and guardian of the house? So if we ring the doorbell, ding, 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 we hear, rah, 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 and I have a family, hold it, don't open the door, don't come in, all right, come in, but don't move, just stand there. He's gonna sniff you, so, okay, all right, good, I think he likes you. Now, work your way over to the couch slowly, and we go over. Say, don't move too fast, if you gotta get up, let us know, because he don't like people getting up. This is ridiculous, right, babe? And the dog, all he wants us to do is be the leader so he doesn't have to deal with these conflicts. What I'm doing is protecting him from a perceived threat, so he already knows that about me. So I didn't tense up. The worst thing I could have done was start tensing up because he has a stigma, which could be justifiable or not. Then I start warning people. You better be careful of this. So Stacy used good judgment. She approached the dog properly. If she came running up and said, oh, I had a German Shepherd just like that when I was a kid, and kiss it in his face, and the dog bites her nose off, who should be penalized for that? The dog? So it's a little subtle. I didn't tense up on the leash. If I tensed up on the leash, that transmits insecurity to the dog. But he's not growling. Now he just laid down. If he was that upset, he couldn't lay down. We haven't beaten him with a stick. There's nothing he's not shown an iota of aggression. He barked a little at Peg before when she was on crutches. But that's like say a kid crying and saying, Mommy, here comes a monster.
With the hood up.
Yeah, just tell me. And then I corrected him, and this is where most of my stuff is counter to other methods. Meaning you try to give dog biscuits and desensitize, spend all this time desensitizing a dog to something you can't desensitize him to. And the best human analogy I could use is an airplane. I'm afraid of flying. I can't eat, I can't do crossword puzzles, I can't do anything. And when I am in fear, I look at the leaders. Who are the leaders? The flight attendants. If the flight attendants are having a ginger ale and talking about their next way they're going out tonight, I'm relaxed. If they're running for life preservers, I'm like, oh my God. I should have stayed in Catholic school. Okay, babe.
He's adorable, this guy.
Stop. Stop. And she, I think, is a little bit more. She's having the difficulty there. And I get it. Has she been with other dogs this one? You don't know. Yeah.
He's like backing up because he's afraid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's not trusting. So it's not overt. Yeah, so they're not comfortable with one another. So at weddings, I'm not comfortable with everybody. But there's nothing happening.
Yeah, dog-aggressive dog is going to continue to go for that dog.
And the real compelling part, I corrected him very firmly just that time. Probably the most you've seen me do. And he should have, by just kind of being distracted or nervous, turned around and at least growled to back me away. So that answers our aggression towards human problem. And they're both trying to deal with this. So there's no doubt in my mind that this dog could interact. But he's having the same kind of reaction as he did when we first came in with Nick. That's his thing,
Right.
I think.
And then if you came in with a dog who was completely mellow and chill,
I can get this dog to interact, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that I can.
And he has interacted with another dog before.
Teddy has?
Yeah. So I think I see him, the truth of the irony is here, I see him as a pretty stable dog. Right, babe? And he's definitely good looking. Okay.